ITZY's road to success has been very rocky as they had to deal with many harsh things. Weird controversies and the scandals that have plagued them for years are really something that they had to stand up against. This is the untold story of ITZY, the beginning of it all. The story of how ITZY came together is actually pretty interesting. The first member to join ITZY was Chaeyoung, who actually went through 2 survival shows, K-Pop Star Season 3, which got her signed with JYP, and 16. She made it to the finals, but as we all know, she didn't end up debuting with TWICE. In 2015, 3 more future members of ITZY joined JYP Entertainment. Ryujin and Yoona were both discovered by the agency when they attended different concerts. Yoona at a year-end concert and Ryujin at a GOT7 one, while Yeji auditioned and ended up getting accepted into the company. 2 years later in 2017, Leah also auditioned and joined JYP after being accepted years earlier by SM, but didn't join the company due to her parents' opposition. With that, ITZY had a full perfect lineup by 2017, but it took 2 more years for them to debut together. Now, if you know anything about JYP, you know that its girl groups have always had iconic debuts. Wonder Girls debuted with Irony, Miss A debuted with the legendary song Bad Girl Good Girl, and TWICE debuted with Like Ooh-Ah, so to say that the expectations were high would be an understatement. However, when ITZY came out with Dalla Dalla, the reactions were mixed to say the least. Not that the netizens felt like the song was bad or anything, but it was nothing similar to the songs that JYP girl groups released in the past. It was experimental and bold, and it had shocked everyone so much that the people didn't even know how to react. A netizen commented, "The song really isn't like JYP, and it's really shocking." On the other hand, other netizens thought that the song was good and that the girls did a wonderful job, writing comments like, "The song is much better than what sounds on the teaser, and Yeji is very beautiful, and I have a feeling that they will be a big success." The second comment ended up hitting the nail on the head, as the girls ended up being one of, if not the most successful rookies of 2019. Dalla Dalla managed to reach 2nd place on both the Korean Gaon and K-Pop Hot 100 and Billboard's American World Digital Song Sales charts. To make things better, the song earned ITZY their first music show win just a record-breaking 8 days after its debut, and the music video broke the record for the most viewed K-pop debut video in 24 hours on YouTube. No debut music video had reached 100 million views so quickly before ITZY. The comebacks following Dalla Dalla were successful as well, with each breaking and setting more records than the last. The girls took the industry by storm and didn't seem to stop anytime soon. But then things went crashing down. The good, the bad, and the ugly. Just like every group, ITZY has had its fair share of controversies. They were accused of cultural appropriation, with Leah wearing a Native American headdress on Knowing Bros, and Yeji and Ryujin having braids and cornrows respectively. But the biggest scandal the group went through to this day is Leah's mistreatment scandal. In February of last year, an anonymous netizen went on an online forum to accuse Leah of mistreating them in middle school. They didn't mention Leah specifically, but they said that the female idol who had perpetrated them was born in 2000, had straight shoulders, and debuted under a Big 3 agency in 2019. It's not like it was hard for others to connect the dots. The original poster A said that Leah borrowed money from A's classmate and never returned the money afterwards. She also made another classmate break up with her boyfriend and turned her into an outcast. When A had allegedly asked Leah and her group of friends on why she had never returned the money and did the things that she did, they all cursed at her. A also added that Leah and her group of friends kept going to her class and cursing at her. They said that they had posted on social media about how A had made false accusations against Leah. The accuser said that she had heard in April of 2018 that her harasser would be debuting under a big agency soon. The alleged victim has spoken about the mistreatment even then, but ended up getting sued for defamation. JYP denied the rumors immediately. They posted a statement explaining that the investigation against the accuser was still ongoing. They said, "This is a case in which we sued the writer of the post last year for defamation by spreading false rumors. We inform you that the investigation on this case is ongoing and that we are awaiting the results according to formal legal procedures." They also denied the rumors and threatened to take legal action against anyone who would disrupt promotions and spread false rumors. "This matter is completely false, and we relay our plans to push further charges regarding the matter and also take strong legal action against any deeds that defame our artists." However, these threats ended up backfiring on them. A and another accuser, B, were found not guilty, and JYP promised to launch a re-investigation. The accuser ended up releasing another statement and said that the reason that the two were found not guilty was because they had so much witness evidence against Leah that the judges had no choice. She said, "I was able to receive testimonies from a friend who was also a victim, as well as another friend who was present during the incident. Once I submitted the testimonies, the police cleared my case and I received a letter in the mail declaring that I was found not guilty." She also went on to explain that ITZY's manager and Leah's cousin had started contacting Leah's former classmates in order to get an idea on what Leah was like during middle school. The alleged victim also said that the claims that JYP had filed for a re-investigation weren't true and that JYP wanted to meet both of them in person, but they declined. The way JYP handled this scandal ended up up hurting Leah and ITZY as a whole in the long run. The mistreatment allegations were never properly cleared up, which made netizens believe that Leah was guilty after all. Not only that, but Leah never addressed the controversy herself, most likely because she wasn't allowed to. A fan wrote, "They should just properly provide an explanation. I just feel so uncomfortable having to keep seeing someone who could have been I don't know what the company wants us to do, honestly. I'm not that interested in hearing JYP's opinion, but I would very much like to see Leah write her own letter." To add fuel to the fire, ITZY made their comeback with Loco in September of the same year, with Leah being part of the promotions. Considering that JYP made Hyunjin go on hiatus because of unconfirmed accusations, the way that they were moving with Leah was just weird. But this started a hate train against her, which ended up with her getting criticized and hated for the smallest things, posting on Instagram, dancing, performing, and even breathing. Loco also didn't do very well on the charts. I mean, it didn't exactly flop because it's ITZY after all, but it did significantly worse than their other releases, and people ended up blaming Leah for it along with JYP, who they called a criminal company. Leah in general had been a scapegoat for the haters for a long time, and the mistreatment scandal ended up being brought up whenever ITZY did anything. In fact, it happened in May of this year, more than a year after the whole thing happened. ITZY appeared as dream mentors for 20 children and answered all of their questions. This rubbed netizens the wrong way, and they criticized ITZY for having the audacity to do this with Leah still being a part of the group. Comments included things like, "While having a school violence member? I thought this might be an article from some years ago, but turns out it's from a few days ago." And "What crime did the other members commit?" Leah was accused of bringing the group down as a whole, as she also had a lazy dancing controversy and was the first member to get COVID. Yes, believe it or not, netizens blamed Leah for ruining ITZY's promotions by getting COVID. They really can't help taking things too far. The other members weren't safe from netizens either. Ryujin and Yuna were criticized for losing too much weight, as if that's something netizens should be talking about in the first place. There are several posts about Taeryung not fitting Korean beauty standards, so netizens resort to calling her ugly for no reason. I'm gonna need netizens to leave the girls alone, because at this point, we can basically say that they've come to the point of harassing them. It's even worse when the girls haven't even done anything to prompt this witch hunt. But how did these controversies affect ITZY? The aftermath. As I said, Loco didn't do too well on Korean music charts, but it didn't completely flop either because, let's be honest, it's a total bop in terms of how original it is. It's simply a great pop song. In fact, it can be considered the most successful ITZY comeback internationally. Crazy in Love is their highest selling album to date with 500,000 copies sold. They also reached the highest spots of their careers on the Billboard album sales chart and Billboard 200 chart at number 1 and 11 respectively. Like all of their past works, Crazy in Love landed a spot on many global charts. I mean, they've told us time and time again that they didn't let the haters get to them, and with their continuous success amidst all the hate, they keep showing us that they're serious about it too. ITZY's latest comeback, Checkmate, is making all the noise because of the concept change and the teasers, but what's important is that the girls worked really hard on the comeback, and we should give them the support they deserve. So there you have it. Share your thoughts in the comments. Bye guys!